Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is January 12th, 2023, and I have an injury update about our winger Raphinha. Also, Lamine Yamal is on his way or could be setting 2 more records. And finally, Lucas Bergvall is currently holding his ground at George Garden. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as I announced, I think it was a couple of days ago, from now on I will be making 2 videos a day because there's been a lot of news lately about Barcelona. So I think it's better if I break it down into 2 videos, let alone putting it all in one video and making it too long. Also, I think this way could also help. I can't explain it to you, but anyways, it's better, I think, if I do 2 videos. It makes it shorter. It makes it easier for people to follow along. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. And this will be 1 out of 2 videos, with the second video today coming out a few hours later. Anyways, having said that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Now, let's dive right into the news because, as you already know, Barcelona defeated Osasuna 2-0 in the Spanish Super Cup semifinal. Now they will play the final on Sunday against Real Madrid, so there will be another El Clasico match during the season. But this good news was not devoid of bad news, because we all saw when Raphinha suffered an injury on the field and had to be subbed out, with Lamine Yamal coming in his place. Well, today, medical exams were performed on the Brazilian, and Barcelona have confirmed that Raphinha has suffered a hamstring injury. And even though initially we were all hoping that this was not a serious injury and that maybe it was just a little bump, turns out it was more serious than we initially thought, or at least initially hoped, because Raphinha will be out for 1 month. Now, this comes at a crucial point this season because there's going to be a lot of matches in this 1 month. So Raphinha will be missing a total of 11 matches. That includes, of course, the Spanish Super Cup final that will be played on Sunday against Real Madrid. Also, the round of 16 of the Copa del Rey against Unionistas de Salamanca. And then he will miss the following matches in La Liga. And in order, there are Real Betis, Villarreal, Osasuna, Alaves, Granada, and Celta Vigo. So that's 6 matches in La Liga. And finally, if Barcelona do defeat Unionistas in the round of 16, Raphinha would miss the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey. And if Barcelona win the quarterfinals, then Raphinha would also miss the first leg of the semifinals of the Copa del Rey. So 11 matches total. The Spanish Super Cup final, 3 matches in Copa del Rey, depending on how Barcelona progress, and 6 matches in La Liga. Now, this, of course, will be a chance for Lamine Yamal to get more playing time. Do not think that he's going to be getting, he's going to be starting every match, playing 90 minutes of every match. So after all, Lamine Yamal is 16 years old. We need to protect his growth and development. Xavi Hernandez has made it very clear that that's Barcelona's priority, is to protect Lamine Yamal. We've all seen what happens when youngsters are exploited or they're overplayed. We're seeing Pedri, how he's currently getting injured. We saw how Dembele's career has been marred with injuries, and that was due to the fact that he was played a lot when he was a teenager. So yes, Lamine Yamal will hopefully get more playing time, but don't expect him to be playing 90 minutes of every match. That's not what Barcelona are planning to do, but also that's not what they should do either, because again, we need to protect him. Now, speaking of Lamine Yamal, the youngster, La Masia gem, the player who all La Masia coaches have said they've never seen talent like him since Lionel Messi, could be setting 2 more records. Now, Lamine Yamal has already set the record for the youngest player in the history of the Spanish league to score a goal. That record was previously held by Gabi, and before Gabi, it was held by Ansu Fati. Lamine Yamal is the current record holder for the youngest player to score in La Liga. He's also the record holder for the youngest player to score for the Spanish national team. That record was previously held by Gabi, and before Gabi was also held by Ansu Fati. So Barcelona players, La Masia players, are setting records left and right. So far, Lamine Yamal is the youngest player to score for the Spanish team and also in the Spanish league. And well, if Lamine Yamal scores the day after tomorrow against Real Madrid, he will become the youngest player to score in the history of El Clásico. This is a record currently being held by Ansu Fati. Now, that's not the only record that Lamine Yamal is currently chasing. He could also become the youngest player to score in the history of the Champions League. And that record is also held, surprise, surprise, by Ansu Fati. So this is, I think, just talking about these records that Lamine Yamal is chasing or could set, I think it really puts it into perspective how great of a talent that La Masia Academy has produced, and also makes you really think about how great Ansu Fati was before all the injuries. It's a shame what's going on with him. Hopefully he can bounce back. We'll have to see. But anyways, while we're still on the topic of the Spanish Super Cup, the Royal Spanish Football Federation has announced that tomorrow there will be an event at the Spanish Embassy in Saudi Arabia. As you know, the Spanish Super Cup is being played in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh to be more specific. And the Spanish Football Federation have announced that there will be an event at the Spanish Embassy in Saudi Arabia with the two presidents of Barcelona and Real Madrid, which are Joan Laporta and Florentino Perez. You might think, why is this news? Well, it's news because we all know that there's been a lot of tension between Barcelona and Real Madrid lately. It all started when Real Madrid decided to file its own complaint against Barcelona for the Enriquez Nereida case. That made things very tense. And then this past El Clásico match, Florentino Perez refused to attend the luncheon before the match with Joan Laporta. He also refused to attend the stadium. This is obviously something common in La Liga. Before every match, the presidents of each club or delegations from each club that are playing each other, they usually have a luncheon together. Then they watch the match together at the stadium. Florentino Perez refused to do either this past El Clásico match this last October. So tensions have been really bad between both clubs, and this is the first time that Florentino Perez and Joan Laporta will be meeting before an El Clásico match. Now, there's not going to be a luncheon, even though that's a tradition. They're only going to meet at the embassy in Saudi Arabia, an event hosted by the Royal Spanish Football Federation. So no luncheon. Both presidents, of course, will be present at the stadium, but they're not going to be sharing a VIP box like usually the custom is. So we're going to have to see how that goes. I don't think any of them they're going to back out, but it's going to be interesting to watch their reactions, their faces, etc., to see how things are going between the two presidents. Now, one more news, because we have to talk about Lucas Bergvall. I know you're probably sick and tired of me hearing about Lucas Bergvall. I've been talking about him this past few days, but it's been reported that the Swedish midfielder is currently holding steady at his club, Djurgården. And you might say, well, what does that mean? Well, that means that Lucas Bergvall is still insisting on only going to Barcelona. And this is good news for Barcelona because, yeah, as you already know, the club presented their first offer worth 4 million euros that was rejected. They presented a second offer of 6.5 million euros. Right now, there are plenty of clubs interested in Lucas Bergvall, including Inter Milan, Eintracht Frankfurt, and now Newcastle have entered the race, which I talked about in yesterday's video. And all these clubs are willing to offer way more than what Barcelona are currently offer. But the good news is that during the last communication between Barcelona and Lucas Bergvall, the player assured Barcelona that his priority is to go to Barcelona. He has communicated that to his club, Djurgården, that his priority is to go to Barcelona. So if the player continues holding steady with his position, that would force Djurgården to only negotiate with Barcelona, and that way Barcelona would be able to set the price versus having to get into a bidding war with all these other clubs that have much more money than the Blaugrana club. Anyways, that is all the news. Again, this is 1 out of 2 videos. I will be making another video in a few hours. More news, especially about the Enriquez Nereida case. I'll get into all the details in that video. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video. Visca Barça.